Monster. And Pain. Yeah, Water Monster and Pain. There we go.
Thank you.
Champions, champion. Oh, you guys have never been able to sing that because you can't even make the Champions League. Ooh, all right. Good start to the episode. Very energetic. Love to see it for the boys. And by the boys, we mean Chelsea. And, yeah, we're going to move into the game that happened on Saturday. The Orlando City game that happened on Saturday, the Chelsea match. Oh, all right. I'm getting the stare of death. All right. A 1-0 win. As I tweeted out when Kyle Smith put it in the back of the net, the money has been accounted for.
Toronto has been audited.
And we're walking out of Canada with 3 points.
We're
What was that?
limping out of Canada with 3 points, but we're...
It's 3 points.
We played much better than the whole game. We deserve to have 3 points.
We're talking about a team that is in the bottom 5 of the Eastern Conference, and you said that we're playing a better game than them. Yes, we should have. We're the second in the East.
Okay.
So, but it took us to the 90th to break them down. So, I wouldn't say we walked out of Toronto, is what I'm saying.
Oh, we flew out, but,
Yeah, we should have flown out. I mean, unlike your club that hasn't been able to pay for anything, you guys...
Oh, man's just salty. All right.
Hey, well, you started your whole rant. So
Yeah, because you're losing to Newcastle. It should have been 4 or 5-0. Are you thinking this game should have been 4 or 5-0, or?
No, I'm saying that we did look the better team. We looked the more attacking side, but yet again, it's just another case of us we're missing an aspect again. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like Toronto didn't look like they were threatening at all. You know what I mean?
So that aspect, I'm guessing, is Ankara. Because you look at the ratings just of our attacking players, Urso 7.0.
Just that finish. The finishing product. Again. I mean...
Kara was 17 touches on the day. Mauricio had a good game. Facundo was very creative again.
Mm-hmm.
But then Kara's turning into Lukaku. 17 touches, like I said. And you just kind of... Like, he touches the ball and you're like, oh, Kara's playing? Is this 117? Speak, and I'll do the math really quick.
Early in the game, I saw him moving off the ball. You know what I mean? It seemed like early in the game we were trying to get him involved. So that was good to see. But I just... Lukaku sent us for this man. Like, I don't know what's going on with him. If we're not using him properly, if it's him not being comfortable in the system that we play yet, I just... Go ahead and do your numbers, and then I'll bring up another point.
Oh, I think I did the math right. I also could be... No, I did the math right. It's 5.2 touches. A touch every 5.2 minutes. Sorry, I was trying to figure that out in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So your striker touching the ball, where you're the more attacking team, just edging them in possession by 2%. Like, you want him more involved. We're not going to see him playing like DK was, where he can chest it down, get a touch, turn, either beat someone or then draw a foul. But even him just trying to hold it up, then lay it off to Facundo, Urso, and Pereira in this match, in the scenario with the formation that we played. Like, you want to see that, but we're not seeing it from him. Like you said, I don't know if it's him trying to get used to the formation that we're playing. I can go back and look and kind of see what he played in Austria and see if his adjustment period. But I feel like we're in the point now, 13 matches in.
You got to be producing at this point.
Exactly.
If you're the number one at the number 9 position, you have to be producing. I mean, I hate everything about outer Fort Lauderdale, and Neville and that scum that is that club. But he had the balls to bench Higuain when he wasn't performing.
But they...
You know what I mean? So I'm not saying to bench Kara, you know what I mean? But when you're the starting number 9, you have to perform,
Mhm.
or there's going to be other solutions found. You know what I mean? So Leo Campana is their number one now at that position, and he's taken off for them. He's doing well.
He's doing decent. This match against New England where he scored 3 goals.
Yeah,
That was kind of his
coming out.
His
party,
coming out
to
match.
say.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to compare us to them. I don't want us to be anything like them by any means.
Mhm.
But we've got to start putting pressure on not Kara himself, but figuring out how to get him to score.
Yeah.
We see him a lot, like you said. He's not DK type of player where he's going to take it down and be able to make that turn and then find the pass, which we see him trying to do a lot. You know what I mean? And then it's like I sit there and I look at him and I'm like, man, you're just trying to do too much. You should have taken that down and found that outlet pass sooner. I think that's us trying to use him to play that DK style because he's a big body striker. Like,
Yeah, just because you're built that way doesn't exactly mean that's how you should play. Maybe we're not going to change. I was going to say maybe a change of formation would help him, but I don't think us changing the way that we play just for one player is worth it at all. Especially second in the East, exactly.
That play well in this formation.
So I was going to say maybe a 3-4-3 where he's just like a target man in the box playing that way would help him, and I think it would because he can finish. And we even saw it against the game against Philly, the Open Cup game.
Yeah.
And he just kind of bounced around and he just found a way to finish it. So him in the box can be lethal.
Yeah,
but
even that turn and finish against Columbus, you know what I mean? Just to hit it that one time like that.
So him inside the 18, pretty good, very good MLS striker.
Mm-hmm.
But playing outside of that right now is not his strong suit.
So it's something I said to you guys right before we started recording. Outside of Dom and Kyle Aaron, which I really, Kyle was great for Orlando when he was here.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, his numbers don't stack up compared to the best nines for any club around the league. At what point do we start to ask questions of our scouts and people that are advising our front office to make these signings? Because yes, Kara may be potentially a really good player, but maybe with a 2-striker look is where he thrives. You know what I mean? And that's just not who we are.
You can't put it on the scouts because the scouts have brought in just this season Cesar Araujo, Facundo Torres, and then Kara. I think those were our 3 signings.
Right. So we're looking at one off season though. That's what I'm.
But name another signing that it came in and truly just failed.
Kamal Miller.
Yeah, wasn't he a draft pick?
I think we signed him, didn't we?
No, he was from Syracuse.
Yeah, he was
All right,
drafted.
So even still, what?
I mean, it's still scouting department.
All right. We can go down. Let's see. Put me on the spot like this. I'm trying to go through the defense, going through the midfield. I mean,
I'm be honest. Under Oscar's tenure, I don't think many players have came in and failed.
Oscar's tenure, no. I will say yes, and maybe it's just me holding the past against us type of deal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, to me, I feel like we haven't really brought in, you know what I mean, that guy in the time that we've been in the MLS.
Dude, I don't want to.
All right, so there you go. Alvarado. Yeah,
Yeah, but
Alvarado. Mateus Ayas, both of those were signings under Oscar that didn't pan out.
But they were never first team players.
No,
because we had the guys in front of them that were meant to play. They were meant to be second, third string in there.
But they still didn't even work out for that. You know what I mean? They didn't rotate.
Wow, this list is
yeah. I mean
something.
Trying to look at another one. Even Dion, he he wasn't the greatest defender in the world, but he did his job. So you can't really
no, I mean you
get mad at him. El Munir was good.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was poor by us to
let him go. Yeah. I mean, we could sit here and do this all day, but
there's just There's been questionable decisions in the past, and like I said, it's probably me holding the past against us.
Yeah, because just this window, if it was, Facundo, Cara, and Araujo, 2 out of the 3 have been very good. Then Cara has been okay. 2 goals, 2 assists, 12 matches, should be doing better. Potentially doesn't fit our style of play right now under Oscar. So maybe there's a problem with that. But I don't think you can sit here and try to say that the scouting department is a problem for bringing in players.
I wouldn't say that they're a problem, you know what I mean? But at a certain point, if we can't get Cara to score, you know what I mean, and we can't find a way to use him, and we have to finish out this season with what we've got, and we don't bring in somebody else that can play that spot right, that's where I'm starting to be like, yes, this guy, like Cara has all the intangibles to be a phenomenal player in the MLS. But we haven't been able to unlock that yet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I hope we can. I really do. But if we cannot, that's where you ask the question of, was this a good signing? Did he really fit the system? Or was there another player potentially out there that would have looked better for us than this guy, just because he's got all the intangibles?
Mm-hmm. That's something that we can come back to at the end of the season and kind of look at after the full stats have been tallied.
Yeah. For sure.
And we can also come back after we cut really quick and talk about more Orlando City stuff, I guess, because that's what we're here for.
Oscar, as always, if you can just get us started with your thoughts on today's match.
Well, congratulations to the players today. And such an important match and a difficult place. And with that personality and the collectiveness that we are pursuing in this project, we saw it today. Everybody participated doing the job. I like the way they control the game the whole time, and against a young, good team. I think we impose our rhythms, and we end up with what we look for, the 3 points. We came here to win, and the victory is ours, and we're very pleased and happy.
Well, that was a...
You got some problems, man.
This guy.
What?
Do you want... You know what? I'll bring you a bottle of Listerine that we use at work to wipe off the mic, so that way you can wipe it off with that. At least you're smelling that and not whatever...
Just put some glue on it. Snip glue.
You know what? You know
What
what?
the
He
fuck is
probably
going on here?
was a glue sniffer.
Oh, 100%. You knew him in high school, so you can...
Yeah.
You ate glue in high school, didn't you?
Fuck you.
What
the fuck?
Yeah. That's
Kind of seems like it.
That's right.
Thank you for proving my point.
Back to the matter at hand. So it took us until the 90th to break them down, but that also comes down to the way that Toronto likes to play. They're a defensive team this year, and especially Pozuelo wasn't in the lineup at all. We didn't find out until the middle of the game that it was like a sickness or something right there.
I didn't even hear that.
I think I remember them saying something about him not being included, and I don't remember it being a training knock, so I feel like it was like an illness or something.
I remember Evan Weston saying that they didn't even know, but that was in like the 30th minute, so if they said something about it around halftime, I just missed it.
Yeah, could be. But maybe I read something after, but...
Yeah, it's probably on Twitter and we just missed it, but yeah, played in a different formation than what we've seen basically all season.
Yeah, we were talking about it that day before.
Something like that, sometime.
And I was saying, yeah, they play that Tottenham football, man. They really do. That 3-4-2-1, right? I believe is how they normally lined up. And they defensively parked the bus.
Yeah.
And offensively, they get their fullbacks forward and got numbers forward for the counters and stuff like that. But saw a little bit of a different... That form is pitiful.
5 losses in a row. Yeah. They lined up. No, sorry, that's the other. That's the one game that they didn't play that formation, right?
The week before is the first
4-3-3,
week that they
yeah.
played that 4-3-3.
So then again, Cincinnati was a 3-4-2-1.
I mean, if you're going to have Michael Bradley in the middle of your midfield every game, you're most likely going to lose most of them.
Yeah, I mean, I can get behind that. I mean, even in that 3-back look, he would play the 6. That's Michael Bradley. I mean, you can't expect much else from him. He's not a phenomenal athlete. He's not the most prolific goal scorer.
As soon as you said prolific goal scorer, the only thing that popped into my head, I had 2 pop into my head. It was a chip from midfield, and then it was the penalty miss in the CONCACAF Champions League. So it's one of the 2.
You know what I mean? So like I said, not prolific. It's very Bryce-esque in the finishing department.
The fuck on. I'm not gonna get compared to fucking bald-headed Bradley right now. No chance.
Well, it's either sky high or a decent finish.
Said SpaceX, like you said the last time.
Fuck y'all, motherfuckers.
We just wanted to get you to talk.
I can't wait until we get this damn soccer
Musk,
going.
So Elon Musk can sponsor the pod.
Yeah,
there you go.
Something like that.
Between you and Dave, he's gonna find one of them up there one of these days. So
this is
literally sends him into orbit.
Oh,
Michael Bradley just thinks the moon is his head, so he tries to shoot it up towards his head. Then it just goes into orbit.
Isn't his father coaching?
Yep.
Yeah.
Huh?
Bob Bradley got hired by Toronto in the offseason.
It's a very Bob Bradley style football that they play.
Yeah, unfortunately, but
do you know what I mean?
not for us, actually. That worked out well.
No, it complemented our...
Is that their head coach?
Yes.
You know what I just realized? Michael Bradley looks like the offspring of Bob Bradley and Alan Chapman. Look at
Bob Bradley is Voldemort with the nose. That's who that is. Where is this man? That is Voldemort.
Lord, yeah.
He didn't. So. Well, this is our match review for Toronto. Basically, is insulting the Bradley family.
I mean, do they deserve any more though?
I don't know. I feel like having Michael Bradley as a son is enough.
It's just like, I don't know. It's the same thing that I said about Charlotte. It's a sit back, hope somebody else makes a mistake, hope that you can find a counter, and that's how you're going to score your goals.
I feel like they didn't just fully sit back on us. So there was a couple minutes, like for the first 10, 15 minutes, we controlled, and then till like the 30 or 35th, they had a good 15 minutes of play. So
they're a defensive possession team. Again, like Charlotte, like what we saw with them, where when they have their possession, it's not necessarily in your half, it's at the midline or in their half until they establish themselves well enough to move up the field.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. It's not a style of football I like at all.
That's like what Klopp said about was it Conte?
Conte.
Yeah. It's like, that's not my style of football, but you can play it if you want. You're just never going to find me coaching it that way. But you got to do what you got to do with the players that you have.
You got to make it work. You got to try to find a way to win games. I would be absolutely fuming if I saw Orlando City playing that way.
Yeah, you see it like when we go up a goal and we sit back and just try to play. Well, again, that's parking the bus, so when we do it, we don't have a lot of possession. But when teams try to sit back and then just play possession in their own half and then try to break, it's not the most attractive style of football.
No, and I forget who said it in the Barcelona football documentary that they have about the Pep years there. I think it was Dani Alves. It's got to be Dani Alves. They were talking about one of the El Clasicos when Madrid went up, and late they ended up winning the game. And in the end, I can't remember the exact way he said it, but in the end, football always wins. You know what I mean? So in the end, the team that played football got the win.
Yeah, That's how it should be most of the time. And then you still have those outlier games where, like City Tottenham, where City has 70% possession and 24 shots, but Tottenham somehow goes out there and wins it 3-2. So you can win that way, but you're definitely not going to have an over 500% win record. So if you don't feel like you have the talent to go out there, kind of like in Norwich, if you don't feel like you have the talent to go out there and like control possession every single match, then yeah, sitting back and just trying to play on the break, okay. But if you're fighting for a Champions League spot, you shouldn't just be sitting back.
And I feel like that style of football is very harmful to MLS growth, especially. You could see that at the clubs that are already established. You know what I mean? Like, Simeone can do that at Atletico. Conte can do that at Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
Americans grew up watching football, basketball. You know what I mean? Like, those were... In football, Bryce and I both played it, American football. There is no wait for the other team to do something and react based on that. You know what I mean? It's, we're going to go out there, we dictate what happens, and that's the style of football Americans like to watch.
Mm-hmm.
European football, that is. We like to watch aggressive, in your face, controlling, high octane attack. You know what I mean? Like, obviously not every team can do that, but I don't feel like, especially an expansion team like Charlotte, it's in your best interest to be a park the bus type team like that.
Yeah, and whether that's the manager's choice and that's what he wanted to play when he got hired, or with all their signing problems and outside of that, not just trying to shit on Charlotte, but
no, it's like I said. I mean, we even see Toronto doing it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of teams that play that way in the MLS, especially on the road, and that's a thing in and of itself, and I can understand that. But I really, would like to see a lot more teams play the way that we play, the way that Union play, the way that Columbus play, the way that Seattle play. You know what I mean? You make the comparison to MLS and the Premier League, you know what I mean? City go out and create. Liverpool go out and create. Chelsea go out and create. Arsenal go out and create. United try to create. Don't even. You can't. You only won 1 out of the past 4 games y'all played against us. So I don't want to hear anything from you, buddy.
And you've made Champions League how many of those? Okay.
I'm not going to get off on a tangent about it, but you keep talking about Champions League and stuff like that, but you can't beat us. So what?
We beat you earlier this year, but okay.
Arsenal beats Arsenal, and that's the only reason that things like this happen.
We have bigger games to worry about.
Yeah.
And we also have a camera cut to worry about, so we're going to do that really quick.
We'll go to Austin David.
Hey, Oscar, congrats on the win. As the second half kind of wore on, you guys were building an attack, but just Alex Bono was keeping you guys out. What were your thought process in terms of substitutions, especially keeping Juan in and moving him higher up the field as the second half kind of wore
on? It was the first half trying to play it on the most we can in our ways and control the ball and control the game and create options. Obviously, we knew that Toronto has fast players up front and dynamic young players as well in those interiors midfielders. But I thought we didn't create as many as we wanted options. But we controlled the game. Second half, what we look forward was without losing balance in the middle. Try to give us some speed in the right with Ruan. Kyle gives you a stability there and allow Ruan just to go deeper. And with the presence of Pato, it just gives us as well some different air in the attack there. So we felt that Jake as well came up very lively and helped us in the left. So all these things just help us to keep building our attack and keep setting the team up in the way we wanted.
I'm not saying he's not good this season.
But he's been extremely good this season for us.
He plays left center back, attacking-ish for us. Like, that's the role that he plays and the way we build up. I really wish we had the board, because when we build up, Juan goes up, obviously. Our right winger will either overlap or step inside, depending on what the defense gives us, which means that our back line shifts over. We split at the center backs, and Joao sits back a lot more. So, yes, it's, again, the same argument that we always make, that he does a lot of the simple things right. I'm not mad at him, but it's like...
You said he sits back a lot. He had 3 shots. 3 shots for a sitting back, left back.
Well, corners were probably two
Man,
of them, you know what I mean?
I think he had one that was like a flick, and that was
Probably
this
outside-
one.
That one?
I'm pretty sure it was this one.
All right, so then the other one was...
This is a
Most likely-
shot that went straight to the keeper,
Mhm.
and this one, I can't remember what the one on the penalty spot was.
Right. Again, you can't tell me, watching us through the past 12 weeks of the season, that that's not typically what we do. Joao does get advanced, yes. He will get up the pitch, and occasionally he will be the guy whipping in the ball in the box. You know what I mean? But that's when we see Caesar fill in more in that back line. Typically, in our build-up play, when we start our build-up, that is where he sits, in that kind of gray area between the midfield and the back line. So
So
I'm
what
just
is he doing
saying,
wrong?
like, he gets a lot of accurate passes from being able to fill in those gaps and stuff like that. I think that Mauricio potentially had a better game than him. Obviously, there's things that he does to lose ratings by losing, battles in the midfield, dribbles and stuff like that. It's a harder position to get a higher rating, is what I'm saying on the pitch.
Mhm.
I think Mauricio did more for our attack, personally, than Joao did.
Well, yeah, being an attacking mid, I would hope so. But
And
I mean,
at a 7-7 in the attacking mid role, like,
so what?
I'm just saying, like, with the card, You're
So that
telling-
shows you how good of a game he had, though.
but with the card, he's getting an 8-3. So this comes down to foot mob too. How are you scoring somebody that didn't get a goal or an assist with a card in the 8s?
Because he had a fantastic match. I'm going to let's see what Sofa score had him at.
Again, I am obviously the biggest critic of Joao. I have been. This year he is good. He deserves to start week in and week out.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that 8-3 is very high, personally.
We just played
So,
Toronto. Lineups. Dun-dun-dun. Orlando had him at a 7-8. Sofa score has him at a 7-8. Also, our highest rated player on the pitch still. Mauricio was at a 7-6.
so again, I'm not saying he had a bad match. That's going to be your rate.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized that was going on.
Wow. Yeah.
Not
You're
saying
having
that,
a day.
It's all good, bud. I know how you feel. Different reasons.
Up the Chelsea.
Not saying that he had a bad game. He had a great game. I'm just saying an 8-3 is very high, and my personal man of the match out of that lineup would have to be Mo over him.
All right, well, then let's just get into top 2, bottom 1. So obviously you got Mo as one of yours. Go ahead and just do the rest. Makes it easier for me editing if you just do all yours at once.
My other one's going to be Caesar, my second highest rated player.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he doesn't get a lot of the credit for how good he is for us. He's does all the dirty work. He has a lot of vision to advance the ball up the field. And playing that 6, you got a lot of defending to do. And he's never caught out of place often. There are occasions that you see the nervy young moments from him, but that's the other thing that blows my mind, the age of the guy. Lowest rated player, it's got to be Kara.
Yeah.
I'll give my ratings. Mauricio gets an 8 for me. I'll give Caesar 7 7.8, 7.7, somewhere in that range, and then Carr gets a flat 6 for me. He did
17
nothing
touches.
to
Yeah.
lose, did nothing to gain.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I had a hard time watching this game, but
Hard time or good time?
both. I was in a pool. Anyways, I would say that my top one would probably be Mo, too. Just, he's never going to really lose you a game. He's always going to be the one. Well, okay. I don't know if I can know what I'm saying right now. I'm tired. Anyways.
He's never been the one to lose us a game, except for the playoff game that he lost his head in.
Well, okay. Yeah. All right. Anyways, my second one would be Gillespie, probably. Whenever he had a save to make, he came up and made it, so. And then my bottom one would be Carr. What, 8 touches or 7?
17.
17. Still not good enough.
I think 3 of them came on that one sequence of play between him and Facundo when he came in from the left.
Yeah, it was just like
One pass off of Mo, the second one to Kara off the layoff, back to Kara.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's a hard system to fit into as a striker, playing on the road. And Oscar's, the way he wants to play on the road, and literally just win it 1-0 like we did here. So I'm hoping to see more from him. I hope we do, because I was hyped when he was coming in. I was like, damn. So hopefully he finds his footing soon, because it's not very fun watching him up there have 17 touches a game.
No. I'm just going to start with my bottom one. It's going to be Kara, but I think, not to say Urso had a terrible game, but he just wasn't the most influential player on the pitch either. Playing out of position in the right mid spot. We've seen him there, and we've seen him there, and we've seen him also have a good game there. So for him to not have the greatest game was kind of like, all right. He definitely should have scored. Missed the chance, not but 3 feet from the goal. So he could have had a goal, but he missed that.
His pace hurts him in that spot. I think that's where it comes. He's physical. He can win a ball. He can hold it up. He can make the spark passes. But you need somebody in that right mid spot, that left mid spot, that's got that extra juice. You know what I mean? I think that's what really hurts him personally.
Well, Pato doesn't have no pace either, but he also he knows where to go with the ball before Urso.
Yeah, Pato makes up for the lack of pace and the ability to
the football IQ.
Yeah. To know what your opponent's going to do based on what you do, because.
Yeah. Well, sticking with Kara as my bottom one, then my top 2 are both going to be the defensive side, because other than the corner, we didn't score and didn't really finish anything. So I'm going with Moutinho and Gillespie. Well, you can't really knock Gillespie. Yeah, you can say he hasn't had the greatest of seasons, but still either tied or has the most clean sheets. I think, Chicago conceded, and the Galaxy conceded. So I'm pretty sure we now have the most clean sheets in the MLS.
Yeah.
Leave it up to Robin and Schlegel or Antonio Carlos or Thomas Williams also. But your keeper is also a very big part in that. And I don't know. No goals scored or conceded. What are you going to knock him for? So.
You can't knock him in this match at all. He's having quote unquote a subpar season. Kind of comes down to us, not having our best 2 in the center back position. Bryce and I were getting in an argument about it the other day, and I went back and looked at it, and he consistently sits at that 7 since he's been with us in Orlando. He's averaging, I think his first season here he had like a 7.3, and then after that it's 7.2. This game he had a 7.8, but the week before he was at a 6 something, so it's averaging out in that 7. So
the week before was Montreal.
Yeah.
Well, it's
you know,
You can't fully blame that on him.
and
Yeah.
keepers get a lot of, bad rap. Whenever you let up a lot of goals in a game like that, even if it's things that you couldn't have avoided, you know what I mean? You're gonna get deductions. So, that game was a 5-1.
Yeah. All right. To be fair, having a 5-1 and conceded 4 goals is still pretty
It's
decent.
still solid.
Yeah.
Not that I think he's a bad keeper for us, but he performs so much better at the international level. You know what I mean? And I just want that Pedro consistently for us, because we get that Pedro. We do. We see that in, even in that NYC game, you know what I mean? And the playoff game that kept us in that game till the point where he stepped off his line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we see that Pedro. I just want it consistently from him is what I want.
Yeah.
Not knocking him by any means.
Well, this hasn't been the most focused podcast, I guess you could say. But I hope it's enjoyable for you guys to listen to. It's kind of half banter, half...
Hey, that's what we are,
dish,
man.
yeah.
That's what, I mean, if you guys are listening still, it's because you enjoy the cluster F that is OC Fan TV.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably couldn't even see him while he
No.
was talking, because
No.
that's just where we're at.
No shot. This is God talking to you guys.
Okay.
Lowercase g.
Yeah.
Because
Even then, that's a bit of a stretch. So this is where I do socials. So we're going Instagram at OCFanTV, Twitter at OCFanTV22, and TikTok at OCFanTV.
maybe live stream watch along for the
Yeah.
Austin match.
We may have something going depending on if we can figure out tech and stuff.
Getting space, doing all that.
Yeah.
Watch party June 15th.
Yeah, almost a month, 30 days from today
Mm-hmm.
against New England, right?
Yes.
And then,
Raffle giveaways.
sure, yeah, we'll have more announcements for that.
Yeah, we just got to keep announcing it because everybody likes to ask
Yeah.
when our next watch party is going to be. So mark it in your calendars.
The 15th of next month is the next one. Then we got a month from then, so about 2 months from now is away day at Atlanta. We'll be back at Tin Roof yet again for a watch party then. And we'll keep recording podcasts and putting content out and tweeting and talking shit and whatnot from
Yeah.
here.
You might see a new format for the 3 points post this week. Give us your feedback, how you guys like that, seeing that type of aspect. And stay posted for the preview of them boys out there in Austin.
Yeah.
The
Well,
trees.
is what I don't.
We'll talk about it more on the next episode, but that's going to be a tough game, man. It's consistent sellouts since the stadium's open.
I don't think they've been in the best form though, so we'll have to watch out for that. Actually, didn't they? No, they just beat LA 3-1.
They were second in the
gosh.
West a couple weeks ago.
I thought they were in great form. I can't lie.
No.
Yeah, they've lost 2 in a row.
They've lost 2 in a row, but that going into that Galaxy game, they were second in the West.
And now they're. Why are we? Why? Well, there it is. 3rd. All right.
3.5.
Well, we're
going to talk about
yeah.
it in the next episode.
we will talk to you guys at some point. Good night.